I'm Courtney McBath. Welcome to our channel today. We're talking about leadership and decision making. I hope this will really help you in your process. As a leader, one of the most important things you'll do is make effective decisions. We want to spend some time talking about that today. And if it really blesses you, make sure that you like it, share it, and make sure you're subscribed to our channel because we want you to get these every time they come out. So let's take some time today and talk about how decision making affects leadership and vice versa. How does leadership affect decision making? All right, a moment of total transparency. Most of the mistakes I've made in leadership have been making decisions without getting all the information. We'll talk a little bit about why we sometimes become impatient in making decisions, but I want to start by emphasizing how important it is for you to get all the information that you can. Now, I don't want you to fall into what we call the paralysis of analysis, that you analyze it so long that you never do anything. But I do want you to find that balance where you make sure at least you have the facts. You don't just talk to one person who was in the conflict. You talk to both people who were in the conflict. You don't just get a quote from one group. You get a quote from a second one as well. In other words, you try to get as well-rounded a picture as you possibly can because this is going to affect your leadership and your decision making. It also affects you in everything you do personally as well. Always try to get as much information as you possibly can because it will only make your decision more effective and it will only make you more impactful as a leader. And then don't try to lead when you don't know the terrain. If it's a terrain, if it's an area and you're trying to lead in that, but you don't know that terrain, you need to reach out for help. You need to find someone who can help you with that. Oftentimes, I'll be leading in a place where it's something where I've never led there before. You know what I do? I find somebody who has led on that terrain, who's led in that environment before, and I get coaching and I get help from them instead of just trying to do it myself. Can I tell you this? Doing it on your own is overrated. The whole idea, but I did it my way or I figured out a way. Yeah, but why make 5 or 6 mistakes on the way to doing it when you could have just asked someone? So when you move into an environment or terrain or an area of decision making that you're not familiar with, ask questions, get help, get coaching, find someone who's been there before. And then that naturally leads to this: ask as many questions as you possibly can. Oftentimes, what I found is that we allow our ego to stop us from asking questions because somehow there's a stigma to it that says, if I have to ask, then I'm not as smart as everybody else in the room. Some of you have told me, you've heard me tell the story of when I was a freshman at MIT and I was sitting in a class. And of course, everybody in the class I felt was way more brilliant than I was. You know, they were from the Bronx School of Science and Technology and the LA School of Engineering. And I was from a high school that only had 100 people in the graduating class. So we're sitting in class, the professor says, hey, did everybody get this? And they use this term called I.O. What that meant was intuitively obvious. This is, I'm sure you don't have any questions because this is I.O. It's intuitively obvious. Well, it was not intuitively obvious to me. And so I finally raised my hand and I said, I don't understand so-and-so. And then, to my surprise, everyone in the room chimed in. Yeah, I didn't get that either. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that either. In other words, my asking the question only gave everybody opportunity to ask the question they already had. So never fall to this stigma that asking a question makes me look dumb because actually the only dumb question is the one that you did not ask. So make sure that you ask questions. And then don't allow people to push you into making a quick decision. One of the things that I've found as a leader is that oftentimes people who don't have as much skin in the game as you do want you to hurry up and decide. Come on already. Come on, decide. Well, that's easy to say if you're not responsible for the results nor the consequences. But when you are, you take your time in making that decision. And if you have time before you have to make it, take the time. Now, there'll be decisions that need you to decide quickly, and you'll have to do that and depend on your intuition and what knowledge you already have. But 9 times out of 10, there's enough time to research, to ask questions, to get a little coaching, to get more answers. Because here's what I've discovered. The more time you spend on the front end preparing to make a decision, the less time you have to spend on the back end trying to repair a bad decision. I hope today has helped you to learn how to lead more effectively by powerful decision making. And if it has, I want to make sure that you like this video, share it, and make sure you're subscribed to our channel. God bless you, friend. Glad to be with you today.